Well, it was a fun win. I thought the guys really played well as a team and played with good energy. When Jalen brings a lot of energy to the team, and I'm really proud of the way he's playing. He's playing with a lot of maturity. He's passing the ball, he's cutting, he's playing within the offense, and finding his ways to score, but he's doing it without looking to score. And so his maturity has been fun to see. And I just like to see a balanced stat sheet. 4 guys with 9 points or more. And we shot a pretty good percentage. I loved our defense in the second half. I thought that was really great to see. We're doubling the post to try to limit their interior play of Harris and Thomas, and jam the middle with Simmons because he's so good off the dribble, and we were still able to get to shooters. So I thought our defense was very active, and it's exciting to see we're getting better. Tough loss at UTEP, and that didn't discourage us. I think we're hopefully continue to get better each and every day.
How big was it to get this with Memphis looming Saturday and coming off the 2 tough losses?
What I've tried to do is not look at the schedule because I won't sleep well. There's no game on the schedule where you could say that's a win. And not that there was last year either, but I think you got to live in the moment and try to get better today and win your next game. And as simple as that sounds, if you look beyond today, you'll get distracted. And there are games that if you looked at the schedule before the season, you say, okay, that will be a loss, that's a win. It doesn't work out that way. We're 2-2, and if before the season you would say, okay, they win the 2 home games and lose the 2 road games. And so you just play one game at a time. And college basketball, I think it's the best sport. I'm sure there are people in the state of Texas that would argue that, but it's such a beautiful game, and I love the way we play it when we're passing and cutting and sharing the basketball. And high highs, low lows, and it can happen all in one game, just like the UTEP game. The old motto with ABC Sports, thrill of victory, agony, defeat. We experienced that in about 2 minutes. Thrill of victory, and then we're going into overtime, we lose the game. So we've got to try to maintain a consistent effort each and every day, regardless of whether we win or lose.
Nakundi had the big first half. Was there more of an effort made to try to find more people for open shots in the second?
Well, for us, I don't care who scores. Whoever's open gets to score. And at the end of the day, SMU scores. So, and I don't want anybody to force a shot. If they're concentrating on Rob, then somebody else will be open. We have 5 guys on the floor, hopefully at all times, that can all shoot the basketball and score, and I think that's the reason why we have such balanced scoring. So you can't look at our roster and say, okay, we got to take him out. If we take him out, we can win. Well, we've got guys that can put the ball in the basket.
What about the crowd?
Crowd was, I thought, good. I see it's listed almost 2,000. I loved the student body, the fraternity houses, the SAEs and the Pikes. Being there, I think that really is, adds to the entertainment for the other fans. That's part of college athletics, and as we grow as a program and as an athletic department, the student body has to grow with us, because when we go into, Big East, home court advantages are huge, and so I thought that the students were great, and everyone else has been, showing up, and hopefully they continue to show up and bring a friend.
You mentioned the Big East, and I don't know, maybe it's a stretch, but the celebration on campus is tomorrow, and Houston's also going to be a Big East.
Right.
So it's, just looking ahead, do you feel like, first of all, this is a good, well-timed win because of all that?
We beat a Big East opponent.
But how far do you guys think you are when you look at the crowd and just the whole atmosphere around the program?
Oh gosh, I think that I'm glad we have 18 months lead time. because I think a lot of things have to be put in place. You know, facilities and locker rooms and budgets, and then, you know, the facility, obviously we'll have that finished in time. And then I think then you get teams, Georgetown, UConn, Notre Dame coming in town, and all of a sudden the casual fan will then come, and then our crowds will grow. So, you know, I think we've got, there's a lot of things in the infrastructure that probably need to improve. And you know, and I'm not even aware. Those are things that Steve Orsini has to worry about. You know, how quickly can you turn a facility over? Locker rooms for visiting opponents, you know, new bleachers, all that kind of stuff, sound systems, you know, travel budgets, more maybe, you know, commitment on campus where, okay, let's not have a intramural game the night of a game. You know, so more of a coordination throughout the university that, you know, okay, if there's a basketball game on campus, that's the event, and we all need to be there. And so that takes time.
What about level of play, though? I mean, some of the guys that were here just a minute ago, they're the newcomers, and they showed, you know, really well tonight. But maybe people would come in and say, "This is the Big East. Oh, if it was UConn or Georgetown."
Oh yeah, no, we're not ready for that yet. No, I admit that. Not on a regular basis. I like to think on a, you know, like we played well against Oklahoma State. We played well at Ole Miss. You know, so I think, you know, but as these guys grow, next year we lose Robert, Loesch, and Rodney. So all of a sudden these guys are a year older. We're bringing in 3 very good recruits, and one 7-footer who's, you know, I think all 3 of Big East recruits. The 7-footer's a top 100 recruit. So the timing for us will be good because I think we'll be more mature. Jeremiah will be a senior. Nick Russell's sitting out. You know, he's, to me, a Big 12 guard. He's a Big East guard. So I think that by the time we get into play, we'll be a lot closer. Will we be top half? You know, realistically, probably not. I'd like to think we could be, but, you know, taking my CEO hat, you know, putting that on and think, no, we probably won't be. But we'll work towards it.
And I don't mean to take away from tonight and
no, you
playing,
did, but that's okay. You
I'm trying to
have a
steer
way
it
of
back.
doing that.
But,
That's
you know,
okay.
Jalen was very good, and he's your future.
Right.
I mean, and you see that in games like tonight. But how important is it to go on a run to finish strong in this Conference USA season with all that big picture stuff ahead?
You know, I can't worry about it. I don't worry about it. Again, I go back to today and tomorrow. Today and the next game. We worry about that. Last year, my friend here, Brad Pierce, said this is the same record we had last year at this time. And I thought we had a tougher schedule this year. So, you know, are we farther along? We'll see. Maybe the league's a little bit more difficult. Maybe, you know, we win a 1-point game. Maybe we lose a 1-point game. You know, you'll look at records. I'll look at development. I think we're farther along right now than we were last year at this time. Depth, overall talent, overall, you know, scoring. We wouldn't have had this balanced scoring last year. So the system, offensively and defensively, I think we're farther along. Does that translate into wins all the time? No. But from my standpoint, I think we're heading in the right direction.
But you think in year 6, wins and losses should be what you're judged on?
That's for you to decide. You know,
well, you've told me that before. I
you know,
think the last couple of years that it was time to start using.
No question, time to start winning. But I can't worry about, like, I thought we played well at UTEP. Did we lose that game? Yeah, we lost that game. You know, 1/10 of a second, we won that game. You know, so are we getting better? I think that's got to be part of it too. Is the program healthy with young players? I think it is. With a system that works, I think it is. So, you know, if you go at the end of the year, I think those are discussions you look at and say, okay, are we on the right path? Doesn't always mean, you know, you're 17 to 16 or 16 to 17. You know what I mean? Are you on the right path? You know? So that's something that we'll discuss in March.
That's fair.
Going back into tonight's game.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a win, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. I've got somebody just taking the air out of my balloon. You're killing me.
I'm doing a big picture still.
But anyway, you really seemed to help. We put the game away in the first half with some really great shooting. Of course, you mentioned earlier that you would hope that your offense would be more taking the ball inside. Were you more impressed about the overall hot shooting, especially from beyond the three-point line, or were you a bit concerned about the number of 3 points? I believe both teams combined shot more than half of their field goals in the first half.
We shoot about 46% of our shots are threes. So, and that's what we work on. That's who we are. We don't have Papadilla in the post. So we get the ball into the post maybe to Cotton Giles or Jalen Jones, and maybe we like the mismatch there, and now we got Robert Nakunde and Sean Williams out that can shoot threes. So we kind of, invert our offense a little bit. So it's kind of who we are, and, we shot 50% from the three-point line, and I thought at times we weren't making them enough. But, I think that we should be making 8 to 12 threes a game.
When you outscore them 19-4 off of turnovers, how much of a reflection of that is your defense, the growth you've had defensively through the season, and overall, what do you think of your defense?
I thought our defense was terrific, and we don't get steals outside the three-point line. We call them Mustang steals inside the three-point line. We're switching. It's a matchup zone, so sometimes someone thinks somebody's open, and all of a sudden somebody jumps in the path. So we get our steals inside the three-point line. We don't extend. I don't like to extend because you extend against good guards and you get beat off the dribble, you get in foul trouble, you give up layups, offensive rebounds. So we really try to pack it in and make people, take contested twos, ideally.
Coach Jeremiah battled through a bit of an ankle injury tonight. How's he feeling? It didn't seem to stop him too much.
No, I was worried. I didn't think Jeremiah was going to play. Monday turned his ankle, and he didn't practice Tuesday, was light today. I didn't think he was going to play, but I think, he did a great job. Our trainer did a great job, and Dr. Baker in getting him prepared to play the basketball game. And the only thing I thought he did, and he admitted, he tried to overthink things early and force things instead of letting them, flow. But beyond that, I thought he was pretty darn good. 4 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 of 5 from the three-point line. I thought he was pretty good once he got settled in.
Going back to the defense, you forced 9 of the 16 turnovers, I believe, in the first half, but in the second, you really seemed to clamp down and they shot a much lower percentage in the second half. Was there more effort to try to focus more on contesting the shots in the second half?
Yeah, I thought in the first half we let Van Slyke get open a little bit and we didn't get to the shooters quick enough. Second half, they tried to run the ball up our backs a little bit, so we needed to sprint back and be more alert. I thought we locked in on shooters better on the weak side, and we doubled the post pretty good, and that frustrated their post players, I thought.